Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody who's joining in from around the world for the first Coalition Assembly Town Hall for the Asia-Africa Cardano Coalition. So thank you so much for every single one of you who's here today. I know for most of you, the timings might work, but there are some who are currently traveling. So thank you so much for coming in here today. I know some of you are at really odd times, like 2:30, 3 in the morning. So the commitment shows, and thank you so much for coming in. Kick it off. Let me get my screen up. So once again, welcome to the Asia-Africa Cardano Coalition, where we are connecting the continents and elevating voices. So since a lot of you already know why we are here, but for those of you who don't know why we are here, just to give you a small rundown of exactly what Asia and Africa Cardano Coalition means. As many of you know, that Asian continent and the African continent represent over 6.5 billion people. That's almost nearly as 80% of the global population. And Cardano's foundational ethos was basically to make sure that you get people without financial inclusion, socioeconomic issues, to be inclusive in one place, bring them all together through the inclusion of decentralization and fair representation. But we now see that there is significant gap that exists within this ethos that we started off. So just to give a small introduction onto the AACC foundations, how this began is basically while we have been in the Cardano ecosystem for a very long time, and we have spoken about numerous times how do we bridge these gaps, but it has never really happened. So when some of us actually met up in Nairobi for the Cardano Constitutional Convention and the workshops, we actually did speak about it because we saw this set of people who we've never met in real life, but we met them and we made friends with them from Asia to Africa to the rest of the world too. So this is something that stemmed from a discussion that we had in Nairobi, where how do we bridge this gap? Because Asia and Africa are the two continents which are closest to each other. But within the Cardano ecosystem, this entire region represents 104 countries, 54 in Africa and 49 in Asia. So where is this representation shown in Cardano? Currently, we don't see as many people in there, but there might be people who are individually working, doing things, but we don't really see that, or we don't get the exposure for it. Why? Because there could be financial problems, there could be problems in terms of language barriers and things like that. So in order for us to bridge this, I think we really had to, oh, someone's drawing something. So in order for us to counter this, we were thinking we'll come together as community voices, not as an institution, not as an MBO, but as a discussion forum where everybody gets to come up and raise their voices. Because sometimes people are reluctant to speak because a lot of people think that if they don't have the right language knowledge, they might not be able to speak, or if they don't have the technical capacity, they might not be able to speak. So in order to counter that, we wanted to make sure that we create a safe space for people to actually come to and speak their minds and actually connect with the people in these regions. Why not do it through the Cardano ecosystem itself? So that's where the AACC idea was born. So the vision and ethos in AACC is to make sure that we are inclusive, ensuring every voice from Asia and Africa finds this platform. This could be an entry point onto the Cardano ecosystem. They come here, they get to know people. There are countries that are not currently represented in the Cardano ecosystem. So if you take Asia, we have so many different countries. There's 49 countries there. But do we have all of these 49 countries represented in the ecosystem? Perhaps yes. But do we have enough exposure for it? Definitely not, because we don't really know what's happening in some of these countries, which are large countries, but we don't really know what's happening. So we bring people in to this discussion forum where if you know someone who knows someone, bring them in to get them involved in the ecosystem so that they can get to know what you can do with Cardano and also expand it into these regions. And the next thing is empowering. providing tools and knowledge for active participation. I mean, not everyone is basically an expert in all of the fields. Some may have technical knowledge, some may probably have theoretical knowledge, some may be people who have never been in the blockchain space. So these are the people we must target and try to bring out, because at the end of the day, the whole idea is for us to bring in as many people together as possible, to create a representative space where these regions are very well represented across the world. So inclusive, empowering, and representative. So these are the three pillars of AACC that we are currently guiding on. So what are the objectives? Like I said earlier, amplify the underrepresented voices, giving a powerful platform for communities and individuals across Asia and Africa through the Cardano ecosystem, foster a safe, inclusive environment, because this must be said, because sometimes coming into the space can be threatening for newcomers. They would come and perhaps go into a Discord channel, or they go into like an X space or somewhere in a social media platform, which might not be welcoming, or which might be too much, or it might be overwhelming, and they get scared away. But if they come into a space where like-minded individuals like you and I, who are just community members, who are talking among themselves, I think that will create a much more safer and inclusive environment where everybody feels welcome. They might not need to know everything about blockchain, but they might be interested to learn. We need all of these people to come in. So that is one of the main objectives of our platform. And the next one is encourage educational and technical participation. Like I mentioned before, there might be areas that people don't know very well. So then we might be able to find them educational content. Again, you might not know exactly how to do things technically. We might be able to find people within this space who might be able to help you with that. And the next one is serve as a trusted advisory board, providing valuable insights and guidance to broader Cardano ecosystem. So when you get involved in things like governance, someone coming into the space, it might be too overwhelming. But imagine if through this discussion forum, we'll be able to identify key individuals from different like sectors of the world, or like the places they would work, ideally not even from the tech industry, could be from different industries, but they might be very good at certain things. We might be able to identify and guide them into the right places. So these are the 4 objectives that we are currently banking on. And then just to give you a small bit about this structure, I think Malik could probably go into this a little bit more in detail. So our structure today, where you are at, this is the Coalition Assembly. This is a town hall that will take place every single month. So you guys can come in, anybody can come in and present, talk about things that are happening in the region, bring a little bit more exposure to what's been going on in the background. So Coalition Assembly is a space for Asia and Africa, everybody to come together once a month as a monthly town hall. And then we have the Operational Council, currently consisting of 14 members, 7 from Asia and 7 from Africa. I won't go into the Operation Council. We have a really, really good set of people at the Operational Council, which we will go into a little bit later on in this presentation. And then we have the Advisory Council. This is basically a non-voting body, which I am a part of. Basically, they're there for strategic advisory only, to talk about things that, which are the areas that we could improve on and things like that. And so since the other 2 strategic advisors currently on the council is not there, we have me, myself, and I. And also we have Mercy joining us from WADA. So she wanted to join today as well, but unfortunately her time zone is also around 3:30 in the morning. So she said it wouldn't make sense for her to join and not talk, but she wouldn't want to talk because it'll wake people up. So she said the next town hall should definitely be there. So Mercy is a part of the Advisory Council from Africa, and we have Sierra from Japan. He's the founder of Socius. A lot of people know him as well. And I must take this moment to actually speak a little about the Japanese community as well. I think a few hours before this town hall happened, there was a tsunami warning for Japan as well. So thoughts or prayers are with the Japanese community, hoping nothing bad actually happens there. So really our thoughts and prayers are on that. So Sierra is unable to join that today. But he will definitely join the other town halls as well. So he's in the Advisory Council. And the next one is the activation circles. A lot of you might be wondering what activation circles are. So activation circles are basically like smaller working groups where if you have a need for something, if you need help with something, you can form like an activation circle. Say if you have someone as an example, from Sri Lanka, who's doing a lot of educational content. And if you have someone from somewhere in Ghana who's also wanting to do education, but they don't have a lot of content. So why develop it like separately? Why not use the content that's already developed by the Sri Lankan community members, translate it onto the local languages there where you need it, and then you do that. Also, in the same way, apologies for the noise because I'm in a public place, but um, if it's like a technical thing, you can also, if you need some technical help, we'll find some people who can do that, form an activation circle. So like vice versa. So that's just basically that in a nutshell. So this is basically the activation circles that I was going through: education outreach, technical support, and also representation in governance. So if you're getting into governance, if you need some help with feedback on things like that, we'd be more than happy to help with that. So that's basically the activation circles. So how do we operate? We take decisions by full consensus, primarily by consensus. We like to keep this as informal as possible, but given if there are divided opinions, then we will go into voting, which is a 65% vote within the operational council, and then they will vote. So open nominations, annual rotations for council positions. Basically, the positions will rotate every year. So currently there's 14 council positions, but that doesn't mean that you can't be a part of it. It's just the council is set up in order to create the operations done. The council meets every week. So if there's anything that's there, so if you're from India, if you know someone from Nepal who wants to come in, you can bring in. Likewise, for Africa, same thing. So that's currently how it's going. So we have inclusivity through that. So that's basically how we operate. So how can you participate? You can join an activation circle, you can attend monthly town halls, or you can propose community initiatives later on. How can we do things together? How can we have joint events in physical, or it could be things that we do online? What can we do? I mean, it doesn't cost us to do this right now because we are using a lot of our time to do it because we want to do it. For going forward, if you're going for in-person events and things like that, we might have to do a little bit of soul searching to figure out how we're going to do it. But currently we're doing all of these things online. So this is us putting in our time to make sure that this ecosystem becomes a place where everybody feels heard and more included. So what's next? We are establishing working groups. Like I said, we are having the newsletters coming out soon, and we'll have community feedback after this town hall is done, and obviously prepare for the next town hall that we are going to be having next month. So there's a lot of these things that are going to go on. So I'm just going to quickly run through because I've been taking a lot of time. So thank you for coming for the first Coalition Assembly Town Hall. This QR code is for the public Telegram group. Anybody can join this, so please do scan. If you have not joined it, it's brand new, we just set it up today. You can go ahead and join that. So with that, having said that, I will stop my screen sharing and speak a little bit about the operational council. We had a couple of meetings, I think around 4 meetings so far. And I know a lot of you, the council members, have been attending as well. So they, with their full consensus, chair for the first year was elected as Malik Faus from Sri Lanka. And also for vice chair, Laurentine was elected from Burkina Faso. So I think both of them are here today. So I will give the floor to the chair of the operational council, Malik. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Garbin. That was a very detailed explanation, and I'm pretty sure it clears up any questions anybody has about our organization. So I would like to take this chance to maybe explain, like, since Kavin explained most of the stuff about us, I think my talk today will be mostly about what an Asia perspective into what AACC does and why it exists. And just like Kavin mentioned earlier, AACC came about as a discussion we had. It's a result of a discussion, multiple discussions actually, that we had when all of us gathered in Nairobi. And this question that came up, that kept coming up over and over and over again, was we are not represented well enough, even though we have a large amount of people in our regions. So through this, what we then decided to do was we created AACC. And so when you look at it in an Asia specific context, Asia, I'm pretty sure, like you guys can see, anybody who's been in Cardano, you can see the all the work that is being done in Vietnam, in Korea, in Japan, in Sri Lanka, in India, in Indonesia, in all these regions. You can see there's a lot of work that is being put in to the Cardano ecosystem. There's lots of what do you call meetups that are happening. There are actual software developers that are working on projects that are really popular. Like some of the most popular projects on Cardano are developed by Asian what do you call developers and Asian companies. And so all these companies exist, all these people exist, all these communities exist. However, they all exist in different their little silos, and this unfortunately is not the way decentralization is supposed to work. What we wanted was, what AACC's job has been and will be, is to connect all these individual silos to be able to talk to each other properly, to communicate, and to be able to collaborate properly. And so this is what we have been doing. And so in that sense, some of the people who are present here today, like some of the members from Asia and Africa, you can see they are all, most of these faces, anybody in Cardano will definitely recognize these faces. These are people that are really well known, people that has done a lot of work for Cardano, people that has spent their time and money, personal funds even sometimes, on organizing events in Cardano and bringing everybody together. So this group of people, like, and first of all, I should have actually started off with this thing, and thank you so much for trusting in me and making me your chair in AACC. So all these people have come together, and we have decided uh, to get to have me as the chair and Laurentine as the vice chair. And so uh, next thing I'm going to talk about is the challenges that we have in Asia. So recently, during one of our meetings, Randy brought up this really important point that what you call we have. Sorry, 1 minute. Oops. Okay, yeah, Randy brought this point recently, where he shared with the council about Indonesia's ecosystem, where he mentioned about how they have fragmented communities, limited educational resources, language barriers, all these problems that were brought up. And when we speak to the others, what we realized was everybody else also has these same similar problems. So these are the things that we need to start working on. These are the things that this council and this organization together are going to work on. And so these challenges, like Kavina mentioned, we can be solving them together, and these activation circles will be coming into play, and we'll try to organize them and go forward. So without taking too much of your time, I actually want to take this opportunity to introduce all our operational council members and the advisory council to you guys. Give me a moment. Let me share the screen. From India, Randy from Indonesia, sorry. Sri Charan from India, Maureen from Cameroon, and Laurentine from Burkina Faso, Boaz from Congo, uh, myself from Sri Lanka, Taichi from Japan, Mubarak from Nigeria, Seidu from Ghana, Darlington from Kenya, Ha from Vietnam, and then Nathan from Philippines. And then finally, we have Bernard from South Africa representing the Operational Council. And then when we go into the Strategic Advisor Council, we have Sierra from Japan, Mercy from Ghana, and Kavinda from Sri Lanka. And oh, the camera's working. So all these people, what they represent are people from, like, people who really care about Cardano, people who has made an impact in Cardano, and people who are continuing to make an impact on Cardano. So it's personally, it's wonderful to be working with all of you guys. Personally, I can't wait to see what we are going to achieve next and where we are going to go next. So With that, let me invite Laurentine over to give a brief introduction as to an African perspective into AACC. Thank you.
Thank you. I would have loved to on my camera, but the quality of my video is very bad. So I prefer to use it this way. So my name is Laurentine. I am the vice chair for this, for the AACC. And I want to say good morning, dear colleagues and fellow blockchain enthusiasts. And as we gather today for this first town hall as Asia-Africa Cardano Coalition, I would like to address a fundamental question: why does Africa need AACC? And why does this coalition make perfect sense for our continent? Africa stands at a unique crossroad in the global revolution of the blockchain. And why does the coalition make sense for our continent? So even though the continent faces significant challenges in traditional financial infrastructure or educational systems and governance structures, it also represents the kind of great opportunity for transformative blockchain adoption. And this is precisely where the AACC becomes very relevant and essential. And so here are some of the current challenges Africa faces. We can talk about financial exclusion. That is no new for anyone. We all know that this is a challenge we go through. We have identity documentation deficits, and we have also infrastructure gaps, governance transparency, a big problem in Africa. We also have educational access. And then why these challenges create opportunity is that while some of the major Cardano blockchain projects in Africa, I'm referring particularly to the project in Ethiopia, while some of those projects have encountered implementation challenges, I think the fundamental work and lessons learned from those experiences create valuable groundwork for future initiatives in Africa. And the continent's infrastructure gaps and innovative spirits continue to make Africa an attractive testing ground for next generation blockchain solution that could address identity, financial inclusion, and governance challenges at scale. And so why ACC makes strategic sense for Africa is that the Asia-Africa Cardano Coalition ensures that African perspectives aren't marginalized in blockchain governance decisions. And as Cardano evolves its decentralized governance model, African communities need strong representation to ensure solutions address our unique context and challenges. And we know that in Asia, as compared to Africa, I'm not trying to talk down on Africa, but we know that countries like Japan, Singapore, and Korea has advanced blockchain regulatory frameworks and technical expertise. And through AACC, African developers and entrepreneurs could gain access to proven regulatory models that can be adapted for African context, and also technical expertise and development resources, as well as educational and training programs. And many challenges that Africa faces that I mentioned earlier, such as financial inclusion, identity management, supply chain transparency, and many more, are shared across Asian developing nations as well. And AACC creates a collaborative platform where solutions developed in one region can also be adapted and implemented in another. So together, Africa and Asia represent the majority, and Kavinda mentioned it in his introduction. We represent the majority of the world's population and emerging economies. And AACC position this region as key drivers of blockchain innovation rather than mere adopters of foreign foreign Western developed solutions. Yes. So what is the role of the ACC in Africa blockchain future? Is that ACC will accelerate blockchain adoption across Africa through 3 keys. You can see those keys in the platform, in the website. Community building, that will create stronger network of African Cardano developers, entrepreneurs, and users. We also have educational initiative that will facilitate blockchain training programs tailored for African context. We have policy advocacy that will ensure that African needs are represented in Cardano governance decisions. And this coalition ensures that as Cardano scales globally, Africa's 1.4 billion people aren't left behind, but active participants in shaping the future of decentralized finance, governance, and social impact. So ACC is not just another, in my opinion, it's not just another blockchain initiative, but it is Africa's opportunity to claim our rightful place in the global blockchain ecosystem, Cardano ecosystem, and hear every voice, as Kavinda and Malik mentioned, every voice matters in this coalition. Whether you are a developer, you are an entrepreneur, you are an academic, or simply someone who believes in blockchain's potential to transform Africa, your participation helps ensure that the ACC truly represents our continent's diverse needs and aspirations. So the future of blockchain in Africa isn't something that will just happen to us, but it is something that we will actively create together. And through the AACC, we are not just going to join the global blockchain conversation, but we are helping to lead the conversation. So thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy the rest of the town hall. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laurentine. Yeah, like you mentioned, every voice matters here at AACC. That's the main goal here, to make all of your voices be heard. And so thank you so much for those words, Laurentine. We'll go to our next item on the agenda, who is our friend Sri Charan from India. He's going to be talking about what's been happening in India. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot for him to talk about, because from what we know, Charan's been really, really busy in India for as long as we have known him. He's a very busy man in India. So Charan, take it away, please.
Thank you, Malik. But yeah, I guess all of the people who are involved here are contributing in our maximum way possible to our ecosystem, like how Kavinda and Malik, you also mentioned. The visibility for our side is not that much yet is where we are, and I'll just get started. Glad to be part of operational council, and I'm Sri Charan. So representing India. This is something new for me, so I'll just start sharing the screen. I have a small presentation. I'm representing India. I'll give a short intro about myself. So started as a community member, been in Cardano for last 5 years as a community member, and as a builder for 3 years, contributed in many innovative products, open source solutions, been working closely with many founders throughout the world in Cardano ecosystem. Founded Newcast, released multiple IP products under Newcast, like Newcast ticketing, live streaming, subscriptions, Newcast AI, all on Cardano. And been leading a lot of community activity also in Cardano. So in the past few years, hosted around 15 plus events, hackathons, summits, governance workshops, and I was even India delegate for the Constitutional Convention. In the hackathons and the summit, we engaged more than 3,000 community members, which includes developers and Cardano holders as well. And there's good activity, like there are people working in the Cardano ecosystem in India, like Uday Solanki is a great tech specialist who has hosted a Cardano event recently, like a few months back. And it went pretty well. They got in people at enterprise level and government level, and they're doing a project called Syngenta. It is working with farmers, and it's a huge scale. Like the first onboarding when the project goes live, somewhere around in September, I guess, 100K users will be onboarded in one shot. So it's a super impactful project happening on Cardano. It's called Syngenta. Do check it out. It is supported by Catalyst as well, and there are great people behind it. Something definitely where we all can support it. And there are multiple teams as well working from which developed amazing products in India, like Cardano Scan, Fio Finance, Typhoon Wallet. I guess everyone used Cardano Scan. It was developed by Ashish. It also came from Indian community, and Ashish is very well known, like as a personality, but he is located in India and building from India. And there's another project called Cardex India, not that um, like visible yet, but they have also been building. And Trivolo Tech is another company from India where they're pushing government and enterprise level adoption. Their recent project will be going live somewhere October, I guess, where they're onboarding whole UP state forensic systems onto Cardano blockchain. So the forensic systems will become immutable. Currently, there are some issues where forensics are being manipulated and all kind of thing. So the forensics will be put on Cardano blockchain, making it immutable. And UP state has like 240 million population, 10 million cases, I guess. So it will be something huge for Cardano and India government as well. It's a both way thing. And yeah, and yeah, some existing challenges what we see, what we can discuss, what from India side is like India being world's largest right now, it's second largest, but it's forecasted to become the largest developers web3 developer community. But we see comparatively very less participation in Cardano. This is something which we are targeting in improving from India side. And the other focus why Cardano should focus in Asia, Africa, and focus in India as well, like in this segments, because India has like 270 million crypto holders. This was reported by Chain Analysis, and a lot of them are Cardano holders, but they are not aware of how much activity is happening inside Cardano. Like when we do these events, we see a lot of people attending, and they get to know, oh, this like the most popular applications, they are unknown, like they're holders but they don't know what's happening inside the ecosystem. So bringing that awareness is important, as it helps in when they engage with the ecosystem, they do transactions, and actually it helps the blockchain itself when more transactions are happening. And some good positive things what I'm seeing this year is like, in the past year to now, Emergo released a book kind of a thing where it did a deep dive of Cardano and bringing more, yeah, in India. And that is something very interesting. Charles has signed it as well and said he'll come to India, and post India trip, he'll be coming to Sri Lanka as well. So I think that book did some good impact. And Emergo is doing this year's Cardano Summit. Usually it's community driven efforts. Like I did it last 2 years, and we, as a individual community member, we try to give our best. But I think when a founding entity does the event, it's super impactful. Like it gives the vibe that founding entities are interested in India, and it brings confidence in Indian developers. It's happening in parallel to India Blockchain Week, which is the biggest event in India. Around 3,500 people attend, and it's happening in November. This is something which I am super excited for as well. And in parallel to this event, there'll be another event also happening. It's called Real World Impact India, and that is also focuses on how Cardano is impacting India at government and enterprise level. So this year it feels more progress and positive vibe in India. And from our side, like we hosted multiple hackathons previously. This is our third iteration. Um, Cardano Codex 2025. We will be hosting it in September second week approx. Date we are yet to announce. There are 10K USDM prices available for students. It's a 2-day event, and it's happening in Hyderabad. Through Cardano Codex, we visited 8 cities and created good awareness in the Indian students mostly and developer ecosystems. Like now, most of the um, people, at least who we engaged, are first level are aware of mesh. So mesh is something I think really important. It also comes from Asian zone, I guess. He's located, Jingles is located somewhere Singapore or Vietnam, I'm not sure, but mesh is super impactful, and mesh is used by whole, I guess 80% of all applications on Cardano. So mesh is something. And Catalyst is supporting this whole hackathon event from last 2 years and this year as well. We made tutorials for developers, like once a developer who has some basic knowledge on computer science, once he goes through these 5 tutorials, he can start building applications on Cardano. This is on our website, India Codex. So do check it out. And yeah, excited for India this year, and excited for our coalition, Asia-Africa Coalition. I think we'll bring that impact in these upcoming years. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That's a lot of stuff you guys are doing there. That's a lot of work you guys are doing. Like amazing, amazing. So with that, I'll next I'll go to Maureen from Cameroon, and Maureen is, like, again, she's also somebody who does not need no introduction. I mean, among all of us, like, everybody on Cardano knows who Maureen is. So Maureen, please take it away.
Hi guys. Good morning. Oh, should I say GM or is that only a Twitter slang? Anyway, I'm very happy to be here. I'm Maureen from Cameroon. I see so many people here and it makes me happy. We could clock 100 in our next town hall, huh? It's really amazing. Thank you guys for showing up. I am glad to be here. And after Charan's presentation from India, I am so embarrassed right now because we got no action here. It's actually a little bit of action from when we came back from the convention. We had a small meeting, or I would call it a conference. We had a small conference on or a workshop in Chang with Mr. Memos and I. I'm sure a few of you know Mr. Memos. He's also in civics committee. So we had a workshop and, you know, just talked to people about Cardano, registered a couple of wallets and so on. And every now and then I do speak to some people as well, but to have a formal gathering, we've only done, I think, 2 of those. And, you know, the lack of consistency, it makes it hard for people to stick around, you know, because I get people asking me, oh, so when is the next Cardano meetup? And like, well, you know, when we get some money again. And that's how we can't, it's been challenging. You have to keep people coming back, but also they even have to remember you, because sometimes just registering a wallet and then going away is not enough. They need to connect with other people too. And considering the fact that a lot of Cameroonians are not usually on X, the level of connection is very slow. It's mostly IRL events that makes it. I don't know about other people in your various countries. I hope you can pull it off online. I can't. I just can't. I try, but nobody's online. Everyone is somewhere, and it's really hard to pull people together online in Cameroon. So, but when you organize real life events, oh, it's easy. People show up, especially if you give them food. So I think that if we this is the right place for us to pool our resources, share challenges, and I want to know what's working for you guys out there. Another challenge for us is internet, you know. So I talked about how pulling people together online is hard, and most of the reasons you see, it just goes back to internet, because if you notice, sometimes X is really, really a pain, but other countries pull it off, right? Trust me, I'm always online, but that's not the average Cameroonian. So when you realize how bad the internet is, even when you organize an event in real life where people need to sign up or do whatever, it's just, yeah, it's one of those things. And yeah, bandwidth is a problem. Anyway, I'm not going to take much of our time, but I just wanted to share a little bit of what I'm doing other than Cardano focus, which is with Geotech. I'm trying to educate young people, kids mostly, and kids and teens between the ages of 7 and 18, now I've been organizing a couple of boot camps, and this year I'm also doing that, where we teach them programming, coding. Well, okay, programming is coding. We teach them programming, 3D printing, IoT or robotics, and then yeah, I am working with a couple of other people, and this bootcamp is coming up in August, and we are really excited and looking forward to that. And I'm thinking in future we could make permanent clubs, like permanent STEM clubs in various schools, so that as they come here for the bootcamp, they don't just forget and, you know, never remember what we talked to them about. So that's our next thing. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Maureen. We'll, I think, who's next on the agenda? Oh, it's Randy from Indonesia. So another person who does not need a big introduction, because all of you guys know who Randy is. So Randy, please take it away, Randy.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Randy from Indonesia. It's a very far away country from all of you, on the southeast the Asia. And yeah, instead of repeating similar issues like before, so I try to address some minor details about what we have been doing recently, not too far away. And yeah, we established Cardano Hub Indonesia, which legally recognized entity right now. We have permission to operate as blockchain project with limitations. And yeah, we are now inside the Asia-Africa Cardano Coalition. I already tried to promote this ecosystem to some persons and communities, but they are in a hurry to prepare a proposal for Catalyst. And there's developer engagement, which conducted by Fani Wijaya as Cardano ambassador. Currently, we have 5 developers contributing to Cardano Hub Indonesia, and they are all scattered across the nation, I mean, cities. And I delegate some responsibility to Inti, which she will engage Ministry of Higher Education and Culture. I try to follow the benchmark of Kavinda, who engaged to the president. And I got support from Andrea Sosiolo, Cardano ambassador Indonesia, who live in Berlin, to start the Indonesian SPO. Even though he only reached the testnet, I think we will make it. We will try to realize the SPO in sometimes. And for the Indonesian DREPs, we still need campaign. And the existing Cardano Indonesia community led by Felix, but still no dedicated Cardano developer. The blockchain integration solutions provided by Cortium Foundation. This is another entity, another group of Cardano Hub Indonesia. They have limitation to Cardano as Cardano developer. they are able to do some Web3 or blockchain developer things. Project incubation, this is started. So Cardano Blockchain Changemaker program is for proving ourselves as a hub, eligible hub to start internship and small cooperation with universities. And personally, I got elected for civic committee and Fanny as membership and community committee, but we still try to do a lot of things, and then we have to transfer the knowledge to the community and ecosystem. And yeah, we complete the project catalyst for Fund 13 almost. This is the closeout report period, and we create NFTs and certification. In the Telegram community, we have 2 community as main actor and 2 SPO community, which sadly they don't want to be recognized publicly. And we have Indonesian Town Hall as our weekly sessions, and another same internship development program, and university project to make them not being siloed, as Malik mentioned before. So some initiative by initiative try to be aligned with Cardano Indonesia vision. And yeah, for the compliance issue before, we have a PIC, person in charge to conduct research, legal research. And for this is a global curriculum development. I think it's better for us to wait for the governance education framework. And yeah, the rest is, you can see, it's all about catalyst and research and development for governance. The stakeholders still unidentified, but we have region impact and national impact. And we also have dependency to intersect knowledge base and updates, but we still have to translate all the materials, and it takes time and resource. So we're waiting for another momentum. The working group also need participation, so we delegate 2%. I don't know if they're still active or not. This is our strategic partnership. Indonesian Town Hall, this one, ambassadors, Kita Cardano, and ministries of Indonesia. Backup partnership abroad is very sexy for us because we need to have establish another entity outside this country, because each country will have different treatment and different regulation. That's why setting up your company abroad will be another solution for all of us, I guess. And post training is I can at midnight. I think 3 people try to learn I can at midnight following them. Yes, I think that is all what I can share right now.
That looks like a lot of work, Randy. Lots and lots of stuff happening in Indonesia. So I'll, since we are running a little bit very late on time, I'll quickly cut to Seidu. Seidu, the floor is yours.
Ooh, Malik, can you hear me? Today, I'm sure I have to get the sound.
Oh, today it's really good. It's very good. It's very good.
I think last week it was due to settings. I couldn't activate that settings that gave me the bad sound last week.
So much more, but it's like you are here today. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Seidu.
So thanks so much for the opportunity, and then it's amazing. listening to my co-operational council members as well as our rep, Laurentine, giving a brief history of Africa and why or how we are to come together and solve our own problem rather than giving it or listening to others who don't even know what is here. So I will just put my presentation in brief categories that will take us to our history. I mean, the Cardano Ghana history or the Ghanaian participation in Cardano ecosystem, the history behind that together with our community members, and some projects and initiatives in brief. So our history to say is just that we came from WADA. Let me just put it this way. We came from WADA. WADA is the West African Decentralized Alliance, if I'm not mistaken with the name, together with the Catalyst African Town Hall. This has been the pioneers, ecosystem members or developers or organizers of the Cardano ecosystem here. They have championed the advocacy here. And then later, 2021, we joined through the Cardano Summit. My humble self and Mohammed Mustafa, through that we have the Cardano Ghana community. They have been so supportive in our initiative and they have been bringing us together. So for that, I want to say I want to give big shout outs to Mercy for this nomination as well as the opportunities that she have offers to us going forward. So in regards to our community members, if I'm not mistaken, or if the data is right for me, Ghana has 3 Cardano ambassadors. And then out of this 3 Cardano ambassadors, we also have 3 D-reps, as well as 1 stake pool operator and 1 interstate elected member to the civic committee to see. I think Ghana also hosts the WADA HQ. The WADA headquarters is here in Ghana, as well as the Catalyst African Town Hall. So probably if you watch very carefully, you'll see why probably this is one of the reasons why Ghana is dominating in Catalyst among the funded projects as well as interstate. You could see that Ghana has also onboarded a lot of African countries into the ecosystem. Probably Messi could have been the best person to speak on this one. Interstate, when it was also established, Ghana picked a role to host the African regional bloc. So it's also here in Ghana. And in the convention, those of us who were here there in Nairobi, Ghana was there with 4 delegates from Ghana, from Accra, and then from Tamale. So we divided into the southern part and then the northern part. That was the Ghanaian representation. On our database, we have about 500 active and unique people participating in our activities. Our Telegram page currently hosts about 430 people. The Cardano Ghana community Telegram page hosts about 430 people, irrespective of their roles and then their skill. We have developers, entrepreneurs, community participants who are there contributing to their quota today. On projects that I just want to highlight small, among the projects that we have here is Accra Resource Center. Very resourceful center, fiscal space to see, established in Accra, the capital of Ghana, where any member of the Cardano Ghana community or even any other blockchain community could just walk in and then start to learn more about Cardano. It is established by Madam Ifia. She has been a seasoned member in the ecosystem. Shout out to Madam Ifia and then the entire Accra Resource Center team. They are doing very well. Where you go there, you could learn about JavaScript, you could learn blockchain code and development into the Cardano ecosystem, as well as even graphic design to see. Richmond, the graphic design lead, is there doing a great job there. We also have the WADA forum as well as the Catalyst African Town Hall, probably the website itself. These are great resources where all our committees members leverage on to make connection into the ecosystem, as well as the Cardano Ghana community itself currently running the CBCA project for our members to complete this course and then better understand what the initiative or what the Cardano is trying to sell to the world. So probably now, currently we have the Minister of Education coming from North. He is my representative in the lawmaking house, that's Parliament. I have some relationship with him. We are working together to see how best now Ghana has now issued regulation onto crypto and blockchain platforms. We are looking forward to see how best we can integrate the Cardano blockchain certified associate course in some of our curricula to see how best we can get this done. We have reached out to him and he said that probably we should give him more time. The government is still young. They just get into office in January 7. So they are working to see that once they get established and settled, we could roll up this project to see them so that they look onto this project. If it is found feasible, it is found with integration into some of the technical universities that we have here in Ghana, probably we could have collaboration on that. So we have a lot to do that. And then on Catalyst, as I mentioned, Ghana has been the leading country with a number of funded projects. To say that we have about 37 funded projects here in Ghana. Out of the 37, I think also about 27 has already been completed, or 29 to say has already been completed in Ghana. So Ghana, this is a quick brief of our presentation and our participation in Cardano. Thank you.
Thank you, Seydou. That's a lot of stuff happening in in your region, and it's really wonderful to know. Like, something that I keep mentioning in all our calls is like, whenever our members speak, it it just makes you realize how much work is being done on Cardano by all these regions. Like, there's so much work that is being done, so much effort that is being put into this ecosystem by all of us. And like I mentioned earlier, I know some of you go to the length of actually paying out of pocket also sometimes to organize certain events. So like, it's really wonderful to have and to work with people like you all who really care about this ecosystem. And I think it comes from a place of all of us understanding how important the blockchain is, how important this technology is, and how, if we manage to make this thing work really well, like if we stay along Cardano's original ethos, a system for the people by the people. So this ethos, if we can make it work, we all understand how important this is going to be for all of us. So with that, I would like to maybe, I know we are going a little bit over time, but maybe we can have some of our rest of our council members speak a little bit, a quick introduction, or say if you want to say hi, if there's any ideas you want to throw away. I would love to hear something from you guys. I think Ha was going to say something to us today. She mentioned on the Telegram group. Ha, would you like to say a few words?
Hello everyone. Happy to see everyone in here. My name is Ha. I'm from Cardano, Vietnam. I am a Cardano ambassador in Vietnam. Happy hope to see everyone in our Telegram group because from now everyone from another reason will post some activity to disrupt. Please on Telegram with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ha. Definitely, always wonderful to see you. Something I always say is Ha's events are the best events. When you go to them, she will feed you so much you will not be able to breathe. There's so much food. I remember Sharon was there, right? Sharon was also there last time when we were in Vietnam.
Like, we were full and there's still more food coming.
There's more food coming.
Amazing event. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Yeah, that was
we'll never
wonderful.
forget that meal.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, and everyone in Vietnam. I am planning to host two big Cardano event in August in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. If everyone can come to Vietnam, please on that event with us. Thank you so much. And I can after that I will send the invitation link to our group.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ha. I would love to come, but unfortunately traveling right now. But I was about to call Darlington on screen, but I think he ran away. So who else do we have here? I think I saw Boaz on the call,
I think
right?
Darlington is still on the call.
Darlington is on the call. The moment I was about to speak, I saw him walk off somewhere. Oh, there he is.
Darlington,
Hi,
we're waiting for you.
Darlington. Wonderful to have you here. Would you like to say a few words, Darlington?
Hi everyone. This is great. I think I'll just echo Maureen. Let's go for 100 next time. What's the prompt? What am I supposed to be saying a few words about?
anything.
Super cool. Yes, no, let's go for 200, and then hopefully I'd love to meet a bunch of you in person. So I don't know how we can make that happen, but thanks everybody. And thanks for the hard work bringing us together.
Thanks, Darlington.
Thank you.
So nice to see you. And yeah, I was just telling Malik, I did not expect this many people on the first call. And we'll probably now have to get like a Zoom paid license because you can't go above 100. So if you're thinking 200 and above, yes, we definitely should be thinking about that. But it's good to have you joining us. So I think it's good. And hopefully we'll see you on some of the council meetings as well.
Okay, I think that's about it from our side. Maybe I'll
Anyone
invite
else?
Carmen over to finish things off today.
No, I mean, anyone else would like to say something? I see a lot of people still here. I see Bernard, who's just joined in. Bernard, would you like to say something?
Great. Thank you so much. Greetings, everyone. This is very impressive. It is an honor to be part of this great community for Cardano. Just to those who are very new, I'll just quickly highlight that Cardano is one of the biggest communities, very inclusive. There is a lot of growth. There are lots of opportunities. Personally, I started in 2021, 2022 with the Bluetooth Pioneer program with Dr. Lars, and I have identified some faces who were there before. Then we grew up from there, and sorry, I forgot to tell you, I am based in South Africa. But the community that we have in South Africa has a lot of Cardano communities which have been funded also, and big ones again. But sometimes what we lack most is what we see now here. That is what is very important. So part of what I want to say is in South Africa, especially in Johannesburg, in Gauteng province, this is where I started a community of Cardano with the assistance of Nanasa for Richmond here. And then I was already in Cardano when I met these ones here. But from there, we have grown into a community that you will see here, WIMS Cardano Global, where now we have about 6 to 8 different countries with approximately 200 to 300 students from about, I think, 8 or 10 to 12 different universities and colleges. This has happened through a lot of all the people who I see here, and some of them who are not here, who have voted for us on the Catalyst. We got funded to onboard the 16 universities, but before we got funded to do some smart contract development. I'm very much impressed by what is happening in the East, Asia, India. It's massive. And I saw it when I was with the Bluetooth Pioneer. There was a great contribution from Asia, from the East. Until now, there is a great contribution that is there, and this community is definitely great. For now, let me stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for all the great work that you've been doing, Bernard. And it's great to have you with us as well. I think since it's the first coalition town hall, I think we ran a little bit over time because we have the introductions and things like that. So hopefully from the next one, we will try to keep it within the hour itself. So thank you once again for everybody who's joined in. Rita, I think, has something to say just before we close. Go ahead, Rita.
Yes, good morning for everyone. I am Rita Mwangaza, the one member of the Cardano community in Goma Town in DRC. So my English is not very good. Can I talk in French? I don't know if you will going to understand.
You can. I think if one of you guys can translate, that'll be great. I think we have Laurentine as well.
Ok, thank you very much. So, ici, chez nous en RDC, la plupart des personnes s'intéressent beaucoup à la communauté Cardano, mais il y a vraiment plusieurs défis qui s'opposent. Alors, vous pouvez voir beaucoup de jeunes qui suivent la formation et après, ils vont devoir abandonner parce qu'il y a de cela deux problèmes qui sont très majeurs, que les communautés Cardano qui sont au-dessus pourraient vraiment chercher comment améliorer ou soit fournir des formations avant la formation en ce qui concerne la blockchain Cardano. Alors, pour ces deux problèmes, nous avons un problème d'analphabétisme numérique qui vraiment est un problème assez pertinent pour les jeunes d'ici chez nous. Je ne sais pas si en Asie aussi ou dans d'autres pays de l'Afrique, c'est la même chose. Mais vraiment, l'analphabétisme numérique, c'est un frein à l'évolution de la blockchain ou bien à l'adoption de beaucoup de jeunes pour la blockchain Cardano. Il y a aussi un problème de langue que je viens d'avoir en ce moment, l'anglais et le français. Et la plupart des fois, vous verrez que dans plusieurs communautés Cardano, d'ailleurs, et même d'ici chez nous, c'est l'anglais qui est la langue de base. Alors au départ, les gens devraient vraiment plus se former dans l'alphabétisme numérique et aussi pour l'apprentissage de la langue anglaise qui est considérée comme la langue globale pour toutes les blockchains. Merci beaucoup.
Saidu, would you like to translate?
No. I only know Mercy.
Laurentine?
And Ernest. Yeah, thank you. Rita is from Goma, DR Congo. She said in their community, a lot of people are interested in the blockchain, in Cardano blockchain, and they join. But unfortunately, they have to drop off because the structures are not put in place for them to continue. So she mentioned the fact that she mentioned the problem of illiteracy, okay? The fact that people are not educated, and it causes a problem for people to really get involved. She also mentioned the fact that all discussions are in English, the language barrier that most of the Cardano communities face. And I really missed some part of the things that she said, but basically she was talking about that, yes. So she was asking if those could be considered for solutions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
If somebody
Laurentine.
here has, complete what she said. Yeah.
Thanks, Laurentine. I think I did mention this even on the chat as well. I think going forward, when we do have presentations coming in French, we'll definitely be more than welcome to have him do that, because that's what we are all here for, to give them the opportunity to do it.
Again, thank you everyone, most of all for all the hard work you guys put into this ecosystem, for all the care that you guys, like you can see it's a labor of love for most of us, and most of you also. I can see the amount of effort that goes into the stuff you guys are doing, and I think it's amazing. And so if we all continue down this path, I know we are definitely going to make something amazing. And so hoping for the best for all of us. So with that, thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you for all your time, and all you speakers, thank you for coming on stage and speaking today. So let's make AACC work for all of us, and let's take our regions forward. So thank you. Have a wonderful day, rest of your day. Good night, good morning, good evening, good everything. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Great meeting.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
next time.
Thank you.
Bye.